Any questions?
Trustee Murphy.
Hi, Mr. Haight. I did just have a couple questions. In the newsfeed feature, you said that is where that the teacher emails will come in. Will those also still be sent as emails or only available in the app?
That's a good question. I think that's probably a teacher preference piece if they're also going to send that as an email.
And then, and for those parents who don't have phones, are there computers available throughout the district that parents will be invited to use?
Sure. So we have at every school, we have what we call registration kiosks. You can walk in, it's a Chromebook that automatically opens up the internet. You don't have to log into it. And it takes you straight to our enrollment page because that's our main purpose for them. But anybody would be able to use that to log in if they needed to.
Fantastic. And that would be anytime during office hours?
Yep.
Thank you.
Trustee or Vice Chair McGlynn.
Would school buildings be able to use this app too for like announcements or things that like, you know, I know at the high school level there's a lot of things that will be like, it would be a robocall, but would it then also be a message that they could send?
I would like to see that. Again, just for that, you know, like, oh, they sent something earlier this week, but I don't remember the date that was on it, right? And instead of having to go try to find a voicemail that was a robocall, having it all listed right there. So that school bulletin feature, I would like schools to be using that for sure.
Trustee Payton.
Good evening. Can you tell us what percentage of our parents in the district are enrolled in this?
That's a good question. I don't have the stats. I looked at them earlier. I didn't put a slide in here. I should have. It's about 60% of our high school parents have logged into this. And that number has gone down because we just had a whole new crop of kids come in and all the senior parents leave. So that number drops at the beginning of the elementary. And the reason for the elementary being lower is in the past, we almost never encouraged elementary parents to log in and see things. So they didn't even post grades or anything. So now that we're really pushing teachers to put, you know, we're encouraging elementaries to get more involved.
Okay, and also, do you know what percentage of parents in the district do not have access or who are?
So 40% at the high school.
Okay.
Yep. And we know we're never going to get 100%. You know, we know we have some disengaged parents that no matter what we do, we're never going to message. But
That's a lot. We're missing 40%. That's a lot.
Yep. Yeah. I want to get those numbers higher. Yep.
Trustee Shola Barber.
To piggyback, good evening. On Peyton's question, what are we doing? I mean, are you leaving it to individual building principals to encourage? Are we doing a system-wide encouragement? Yeah. What are we doing to get people aware and on?
Yep. So we're trying to basically multi-prong, basically everywhere. So, you know, Sue in the communications office at the district level is pushing out information. Schools in their back-to-school packets are sending home flyers like, hey, have you installed this app? Like, here's the cool things you can do. We're going to be having information at the open houses Dr. Slade just showed. And then throughout the year, anytime we can get parents together for an event, we plan on having somebody there to help them get them this installed. And then I know for some of our special populations, I was talking with Sam earlier. I mean, he's actually having a night for his parents to come in over at Oakwood and get this installed. And it can be, especially if a family doesn't have an email address, it can be a half-hour process at least to work them through all the steps. But they need to know what their kids are doing. They need to know what those grades look like, that attendance. So it's an important push from basically everybody in the district.
If they don't, they just are in the dark?
We will continue doing, I guess it depends on what they have. I mean, we continue to mail things home. Not everything, but there are certain things that we mail home. There's things that we email home. We have our Blackboard system, you know, the robocall system that we still send. So we're not, I don't want to say that we're only ever going to send information home through this. This is another messaging tool, and specifically a two-way messaging tool to like specific parents. That's the key piece here, is that it's really that instant messaging back and forth. All the other communication tools we're still going to be using.
But because I would be very concerned, because we do know that some of our parents or guardians or foster either don't like, I mean,
Yeah.
aren't aware or, and are very adamant that they want. So that would leave them kind of wanting. Thank you for that.
For sure.
So I just have a couple of questions. Thank you. Good evening. How are we making sure that we have the most updated email addresses for our parents?
It's tough. So one thing, we just did a secretary training a couple of weeks ago before school started. And one thing I told them there is, you know, when you go to the doctor's office, and we all hate it, but every time they're like, hey, fill out your updated information, and you're like, well, I just did this 2 weeks ago, but you still got to fill it out, right? I mean, that's huge. So I've encouraged the secretaries, like when a parent walks into the office to pick up their kiddo, be like, hey, before I call Johnny down, let's just look. Do I have your updated email address? Have you been logged into the app? Do we have your updated phone number? Because that's really like that customer service piece. And when you have that captive audience, they're in their office. You got to check and work with them on that. So yeah, we are working on getting that constant good information in the system, because we know we have bad email addresses. One of the reasons we don't like to do a lot of mailings is we get so many returned envelopes. We know we have bad addresses. So we try to then track those families down, and yeah.
So that was my next question. I know that you said that let me back up. Is this My Power Hub also what generates report cards?
It's the same system. Yeah.
Perfect. And so is there an option in My Power Hub to send a paper copy of the report card home?
So we leave paper report card options up to the school level. Like if the school would like to send those home, we show them how to print them and send them home. We don't, as a district, mail them home anymore. But you could, and through the app, you could view it electronically, like as a PDF. That would be there, yeah.
But is there an option to send a paper copy home?
We, at the moment, don't have a system that says, I would like to receive a paper copy of a report card.
So the assumption is made that everybody wants it digitally.
Let me think about how
Thank
we could make a system work like that,
Thank you.
to get that for home for parents that want that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I'm going out of turn. I apologize. You had mentioned that there are a number of real-time translation languages. Do you happen to know what those languages are?
Our top kind of three. I know all of those were there, and then there was a massive list after that also.
Okay, so almost all of them.
It was a big list. Yep.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.
I also want to announce that we're having a teacher feedback input session on September 23rd, 3:30 for secondary schools, 4:30 for elementary schools. That'll be at West Main. We will have a series of those through the year like we did in the past. I do want to just again say that a lot of the initiatives we have in place started during the conversations that we had during those feedback sessions, or teacher advisory committee, or parent advisory committee, or student advisory committee. I'm talking about our cell phone policy, our trimester to semester change. And I also want to recognize these young ladies. I think they're in the audience. They came to myself and Mr. McCain and brought the gold card. Honestly, I had never heard of that before until they came and they met with us, and that has gone very well. I just want to recognize these two young ladies in the front. They brought that idea to us. It has gone very well. I just want to thank you so much for bringing that idea. And again, I just want to emphasize that as a district, we have more community meetings. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again, more community meetings, more input sessions than any other district in the state. And from those sessions come these great ideas. So thank you so much.
Next, we will have persons requesting to address the board. And I just wanted to read our policy on public participation during the meeting of the Board of Trustees. While balancing legitimate privacy issues of students and staff, the Board of Trustees welcomes community input at public meetings of the Board of Trustees. The specifics of this policy say that persons requesting to address the board will be asked to complete a sign-in sheet by the end of the public comment period. The portion of that sign-in sheet requiring completion will include name, school, interest in the Kalamazoo Public Schools. The optional portion will be held private and will include mailing address, email address, phone number, topic about which they will be speaking of, and if authorized and applicable, the organization they represent. The presiding board officer will invite persons to the podium in the order in which the sign-in sheets were completed. If after 30 minutes everyone who has completed a sign-in sheet has not had the opportunity to address the board, the public comment period will be tabled and resumed before adjournment. Speakers have 3 minutes each and must stop speaking promptly when signaled. Speakers may not address confidential student or personnel matters, but may submit such concerns to the board in writing. Speakers are encouraged to provide the board with a written copy of their comments and other appropriate supporting documentation, which will be copied and distributed as needed to appropriate staff personnel. The public is required to exercise common courtesy during the meeting and must follow rule of order. The presiding board officer may terminate public comments that are profane, vulgar, or defamatory, especially if these comments result in a disturbance or breach of peace. Personal attacks against an employee or board member that are totally unrelated to his or her duties are prohibited. If a person engages in disruptive conduct or is out of order, the board presiding officer will strike his or her gavel and warn the person to discontinue their behavior. Further disruptions will result in the person being asked to leave. Refusal to leave will result in being escorted out of the building. Ms. Sherry Weber.
Okay, I think it's on. Yes. All right. I'm Sherry Weber. I'm the parent of 2 graduates of KPS who just finished their second week at U of M. So I'm happy to be back here with you. I want you to take just a second to imagine what we could do in this community and this state if there was $1 billion extra every year coming into public schools. Think about the things you would do with that. How do we make that happen? One of the ways, and probably an easier way than trying to get it through the legislature, honestly, is that there is a push to put an amendment to the Constitution of the state. So it is a ballot initiative that will go on the ballot in November of 2026. The way that it works is that individual tax filers in the state of Michigan making over $500,000 a year, or couples making over $1 million a year, if some of you are that, congratulations to you. Those people would get a 5% surcharge in terms of their tax. So there would be an additional tax to the very wealthy, and all of that money collected through that tax would go to public schools in the state of Michigan. We are targeting collecting 20,000 signatures in the Kalamazoo area. If I were able to get one for each of the students or families, we'd be pretty close to our target. So I am inviting all of you, if you have not signed the petition, to get it on the ballot for November of 2026. I have petitions with me, and I'm inviting the school board members, I'm inviting the administrators, I'm inviting everybody who behind me, because I know they want more out of the schools too. And one of the ways to get this is to get better funding and deeper funding. So that's how we're going to go about this. And if anybody wants to catch me later, I will be right here. You can sign and help get it on the ballot. If anybody is interested in helping gather signatures, please come see me. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Swanson? What is your first name? Vanna. Miss Vanna Swanson and Miss Barb Miller.
Well, we appreciate thanking us this evening, but we came here. Last January, we met with Dr. Slade and Kane and presented the idea of the gold card, and they were open to the idea and had a great discussion. And last week, I picked my gold card, and I'm excited to be able to use that. That's a great gift to the seniors, and I'm really hoping that grandparents and seniors athletic events. So thank you very much.
Read my speech ahead of time, so she most. Anyway, I want to thank you also, especially Ms. DeGraff, Mr. McCain, the communications department, and especially you, Dr. Slade, for the gold cards for senior citizens. Vanna and I got in because of Ms. DeGraff and how timely we got in. I really appreciate that. And the communications department gave us support and updates. And Dr. Slade, when he met with us for over 30 minutes, we were really grateful for that whole time. At our meeting with Dr. Slade, I was worried because I thought might have to go through board policy, and I just shuddered at the thought, how long would that take? So I know you guys appreciate that. Instead, Dr. Slade saw the need, liked the idea, and ran with it, and we're really grateful for that. So far, over 250 gold cards have been given out in 2 weeks, and more is printed, and I'm so grateful, and I think the community is also. When I posted the announcement on the KPS website and the Winchell Neighborhood website, I got more likes than I ever did in any of the campaigns I ran. So that's okay. This is a lot more worth it. And I just wanted to give an appreciation out to facilities management also. There's work being done at Winchell Elementary, and there's a big thank you sign out there. And I've noticed those signs at other buildings when work's being done. And it really does my heart good, and I really feel appreciated. You guys acknowledging our part in helping pass those bonds. So thank you all very much, and keep working for our kids. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Kelly Phillips.
Phillips. I am the parent of a recent grad and a current senior at Kalamazoo Central. I'm here today because I've sent a few emails and I have yet to receive a response, so I wasn't sure what the next steps were or even who to address it to. I know it's really busy, but it's a little time sensitive. My concern is about scores, SAT scores being on transcripts when they are sent to universities. As you know, many are now test optional. So I'm not sure why we are still sending this information if it is not something that the student wants to submit. So I have been in touch with counselors, and they were told that's just how the transcripts are why that's the case. I feel like this is kind of a violation of the student privacy if they are not wanting to submit this information to whatever college of their choice.
Thank you. Magic D.
All right, good evening. Well, it's been a minute, but I haven't been anywhere. Just been watching online. I just want to say welcome, everyone. Welcome to all educators, staff, especially educators, staff that decided to come back in the classrooms. Definitely appreciate you. As everybody knows, that with the federal cuts, lots of things are still questionable about doing. Sherry brought up as far as the money being raised with the taxes for those that make a lot, but that goes back to the people always fund the revolution instead of always getting the money from the government where it needs to come from. But I wanted to ask a couple of questions on behalf of some educators that I know in the school district. Unfortunately, I do not work in KPS school district. I work in a neighboring school district, but I still labor in the classroom. One of the questions being the student population remains mostly white in advanced classes. The hope is that more information is given to parents of students who are not white and what options are for those students to move through the school. The second question, parents of white students take a look at their students' true academic level, which meaning if a student is coming in at a 210 and benchmark is 215, let that child go into the regular class instead of taking the seat of a child, maybe a backpack student that deserves to be in that seat. Advanced classes that don't necessarily academically aren't ready to be in there, and when we look in the classrooms, a lot of teachers are seeing that the classrooms are disproportionately not what they need to be, and that goes on with what my friend and comrade comes up to the mic on the school boards and talks about CAMSI and those advanced classes. So one of the things that I hope that going forward is that there'll be some new innovative ways on funding things. And how's it working out with metal detectors being in secondary schools? What has been the reaction with that, and the large class sizes now going from 6 classes to 7 classes? Some classes have 37 students. Is the quality education really there? Parents, you should ask yourself, is my student getting a quality education? Are the teachers able to give quality instruction? Thank you.
Thank you. And now, seeing no other business, we will have comments by trustees. Trustee Shola Barber.
Good evening. I have not very many. First of all, I've loved going to the few secondary open houses that I went to, but I want to apologize that I will miss this wonderful roster of open houses because several of the board members and I are going on to a professional development conference, and so I know that they will be just as good and ever so wonderful as the 2 I attended last evening. I also want to welcome back everyone. I want to, all the crossing guards and all the bus drivers and all the personnel that we have coming back. Every time I'm in the city or driving around and I see these wonderful people doing what they love doing and what they have a passion for, my heart goes out to them and I really appreciate them. And my last thing is that, or one of the last things is, I always want to highlight sports. And one of the reasons, and I'll say this every time, that I highlight the sports, I wish we had time to do all the sports that are happening in the middle schools and every other aspect of our district. But time narrows it down to just the high schools. And mentioning the sports is important because it's an extension of the classroom. So much SEL, education, relationships are built, there is problem solving, there is goal building. It is a tremendous extension of the classroom. And I really commend Dr. Slade for making it a priority to increase our feeder programs and to really encourage our students to participate. And from Kalamazoo Central, we as well as the community are excited for all the awesome upgrades. Turf, football field, press boxes at baseball and softball. 4 sports are off to a strong start. Varsity home open will be Friday the 12th versus Gull Lake. And I will say that I did go to Loy Norrick's game last Friday night, and that turf, that stadium is amazing. Thank you to all the people who support us in the bonds. It is an amazing, there's much to be proud of. And you could tell, the principal of Loy Norrick's even shared with me that as the workers were finished with the field, there were many, many athletes that went up to him and thanked even the workmen who were helping lay the turf or who had helped lay the turf for what they have now to work with. And please understand, this turf is just not for football. It is for soccer. It is for field days. It is for band competitions. So it's multi-useful. So now we'll go on to Loy Norrick's. He starts out with the Mr. LeBeau, the AD at Loy Nork, starts off with, of course, we want to thank the community with the incredible upgrades, and it just highlights our season. Having 3 football teams for the first time in several years is directly related to the excitement of the upgrades. The freshmen defeated Jackson Northwest 40-20 last week. The women's swim and dive team has started a 2-zip with wins over Portage Northern and Madawan, extending their win streak to 52 in a row. Men's tennis tied defending SMAC champion Madawan 4-4 last week, which is a huge step forward. Men's soccer is 3-2-1, tying state powerhouse Hudsonville and defeating Madawan on Tuesday. The rivalry game is coming up on the 11th and should be another great battle. D1 Fall Signing Day is November 12th and will include Talea Hanks signing for volleyball with USC. That's an accomplishment. Maddie Chapa signing in soccer with IU Indy, formerly known as IUPUI. The community outpouring at last Thursday's games was amazing. Thank you to all involved. The kids love to thank the contractors for their work as we teach them about how important bond issues are and how they help with our basics. So that's all I have. And again, welcome back. I really wish everyone in our district and everybody that's involved. And thank you, senior administrators, or for senior leadership team, for all you.
Vice Chair McGlynn.
I had the opportunity to welcome students back at Maple Street and watched the metal detectors for the first time. And I was just so impressed at how patient the kids were. They were learning what can go in and what can't. But very respectful, and I thought it went very, very smoothly. And I also have to just give a huge kudos to the staff there, because you see some of the 6th graders come into the building and they're pretty scared and not sure where they're going, and some people don't know who their teacher is, and they gave them such a warm welcome and showed them around. They also had students there, the 8th graders, that were helping guide the kids in. So it was just a great feeling at Maple Street. And then I did go over to Winchell too, and Winchell is just kids are just so excited to be back and excited to see who their teachers are, and waiting in line, and so that's just a really fun experience. So it was fun to get that little glimpse of the beginning of the school year, and great to hear that it's going so well, and we hope that will continue.
Trustee Johnson.
Not gonna lie, first day of school was dope because I don't like mornings, and I woke up at 6:30 in the morning to go see some of the smilingest faces I've ever seen in my life at Kalamazoo Central, where it was so dope because I got there and the team was preparing for the kids to come into the building. They were hyping themselves up and making sure everybody knew where they had to go. And then when the line formed to go through the detectors, the young people was not phased. They were happy to be here. And I always love to see that it's the kids enjoy coming back to school. Some of us have a little angst, but they enjoy coming back to school. I really loved the organization. It was very organized, very easy flowing. Everybody knew what to do. What was we saying? IDs on, Chromebooks out. It came out really easy. And being there on the first day of school as not just a board member, but as a community member, makes you memorable to the youth who are there, who are coming, especially our 9th graders. I just love being able to be a resource for them, because sometimes, yes, this is a new building. These people are older than me. Here we go, high school. Now I don't know where my schedule is, and so being an adult who has that information for them on the first day is a blessing. And then I got a chance to go to Woodward too. I got to walk a kindergartner to his teacher, and it was so much fun. Again, We have a lot of students who are coming for the first time, have no idea what is going on. And it's always a blessing to be able to be there to help them through that moment, especially if you ever knew what that moment was like for yourself. So it's a privilege for me and a blessing to them to be able to interact in that way on that day. So I'm grateful always for those moments.
Trustee Murphy.
I also welcome some students back. I was at Linden Grove. Again, the weapon detectors were barely even blinked at. And all of the senior leadership at the school, the teachers had everything very organized. It was definitely not what I was anticipating, and I was pleasantly surprised. And then after that, I went over to Indian Prairie and I got to watch all the brand new kindergartners come into school and find their teachers, which most of them were overjoyed, very excited, only a couple a little concerned. But the teachers were fantastic, as they always are. So I did enjoy that, and I look forward to doing it in next year. And that's really about it. I'm just really glad that we are back in session. Thank you.
So I don't have much to say. I wanted to welcome the community to the 2025-2026 school year. Had the opportunity to view schools on the first and second day of opening, and was just really empowered by the number of parents that thanked me for taking school safety and security seriously as a board, and that was really empowering. I'm excited about the innovative ways that we can figure out how to increase the academic achievement of all students in this district. And very, 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 as a board, we are very focused on making sure that every child, every opportunity, every time, what that means to students individually. So I'm looking forward to having good conversations with the board this year about innovative ways that we can make sure that we do things that will become worldwide models is what we're looking to do. So I usually forget the superintendent. Do you have anything? I know that you probably do. I didn't want to forget you this time. I'm trying something new.
Again, I just want to thank our staff for amazing second week. Our principals, again, our paraprofessionals, our bus drivers, our food service staff, everybody plays a role in making sure that we have a great day every day. So again, we just hope that momentum continues going into next week and the rest of the school year. So thank you.
I need a motion to adjourn. I have a motion from Trustee Johnson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, we will see you back in this space on the 25th of September. Thank you.
Dr.